Hello YouTube, Antonio Machaka here for another video. Now, this is what I would call a video game console retrospective. It's on the 3DO. And we're going to push it back a little bit more so it's easier to see. Yep, the FC10 model. Well, that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the system itself now. 3DO, if you I mean, it doesn't even take that long to describe it. I mean, people already talked about this thing. Classic Game Room, you know, Mark. Angry Video Game Nerd has made a video based on one game for the 3DO, which is Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, which is actually pretty funny. And Lazy Game Reviews has reviewed this thing. But here's my retrospective, because I'm different from other people. See, don't ask me why I'm having my hand all the way around, but yeah. Why am I making a video on this? Well, because all the systems I have are common, like the GBA, you know, Game Boy Advance. If you want to know what the game is, that's Wario Land Free. Just in case if you even want to know what was in there the whole time. Well, you might not have been interested at all, but you get the whole point. Anyways, the 3DO. What made me if you want to know what made me interested in buying one of these, it was all the stuff on YouTube. I mean, I've seen stuff on YouTube for every console pretty much, and this, I don't know why, but they made me buy a 3DO. Not an Atari Jaguar. I mean, I was trying to decide from this or a Jaguar or a Sega CD, but then I remembered I don't have a Genesis, so because I mean, there's a CDX, but that was pretty expensive. CDX costs more than a 3DO does, so like, hell, buy the 3DO. Besides, I can already play Sega Genesis games, because the other systems I have are the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii, Nintendo 64, Wii U, original Xbox, Wii U, oh, I think I already said that, but, and the FC3, which is basically a 3-in-1 game system that plays NES, Super Nintendo, and Sega Genesis games. I'll review that next time, but right now I'm trying to talk about the 3DO. This is probably the rarest console I have, because the common game consoles I have, they're not a rare model, so this pretty much is. It kinda does look pretty cool, actually. I mean, look at it. Really awesome looking game console. And it says real 3DO interactive multiplayer. Well, this thing better be real, because I paid 125 bucks. Well, it is real. It does work. I'll show you what I mean. Now, see? Works perfectly. This tray's not jammed. Now, the 3DO, it's one of those systems where you gotta make sure you can trust up and down the thing works, or make sure you get a warranty with it. Otherwise, it's a piece of junk. I mean, okay, it's not a piece of junk if it doesn't work, if it comes with a lot of games. Because if it didn't work, you can always just sell the console to somebody who would just want to own it just to look at it, you know, and then buy one that works with that money. So, even if it doesn't work, I think it'd be cool to have, but if you're buying it with just like one game, you definitely want to make sure it works and has all the parts. I do have all the parts, but I'll show you them in a second. Now, if you didn't notice, there's the word the Panasonic engraved in the console, which is just awesome. It just feels cool. And if you don't know, but there's a nice finished glossy texture, which just feels smooth and relaxing. And it says real 3DO interactive multiplayer on the top as well. Now, I like how right here it says ready 3DO. It's like it doesn't know when it's gonna be ready or not, but it does know when you turn on the light. Well, control port. Oh my god. Okay, if you don't know nothing about the 3DO, this is where I'm gonna come into the whole controller part. If I'm thinking, oh no, it's like the TurboGrafx 16, you're gonna have to go buy a Additional tap, like Turbo 16, we had to buy the Turbo Tap. Oh no, that crap isn't included. Even though it actually was, I have to admit it, kind of funny when you did have to buy one of those, but instead, you just use, well, of course, you plug in the controller. Here's what the 3DO controller looks like. I like this controller a lot. It's basically the Sega Genesis controller fused with the Super Nintendo controller, just with not all of the Super Nintendo's buttons, but it works damn good, believe it or not. Some people only think it's okay, though. Some people don't like it really at all. Go watch other YouTube videos on the 3DO and see what I mean by that. The controller's hard to get in, especially with one hand. Well, it's still manageable, but it's pretty hard to get out with one hand. Of course, you probably think, though, that the N64 controllers were hard to get out, though. Like, way harder. Okay, anyways. Well, how the hell do you have a second player if you didn't know anything about the 3DO? Oh, what is this? I mean, I already know what it is, but I'm just trying to make this sound interesting. Yeah, you can take this off, and then there's a second control port under that compartment. I don't have a second 3DO controller, which is sad because I wish I could show you what it looks like. But you just plug in the second controller here to play two-player games. But you can basically have up to every 3DO controller in existence plugged in. So, yep, it's called daisy chaining apparently. Yeah. Wait, no, right way. Okay, let me have to turn it around. And it's really hard to do this with one hand. Shit. Finally, okay. Okay, standard buttons. Start. So, triggers. The D-pad is not the best, but it does the job still. Back. Screws. Headphone jack, which is awesome. It's probably one of the first video game controllers ever to have a headphone jack with the volume switch, so yeah. Now, what were the games on the... Oh wait, I forgot to show you the back of the console. Crap. Well, good thing I just remembered. There's up my finger there. Okay. Crap. What? Sorry guys, my tablet does this every time I record a video. I just don't know why. So, here's what the back looks like. I kinda can't have it go that far, but look at this. You got standard plug-ins. And here's the AV cables over here. Uh-oh, look at this part. Oh, it's kind of bent over because I have it stretching a little bit. Look at this. The plug-in, the main plug-in is hardwired in. That's why he said it's like the Atari 5200, or it's faulty. Unless you had the FC10 model, would this be fixable? I think the Gold Star actually could as well, because the Gold Star is hard to stay fixed, because Gold Star has a lot of problems without fixed. Now, what were the games like? You got a 3DO, because games are the most important part when you buy a game system. Well, there were definitely a lot of good ones, and a lot of interesting ones, and a lot of bad ones. I mainly bought games that I thought were good. If you ask me what my favorite game on the 3DO is, I think this is the must-have game for the system. Let me open the thing. um, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. If you get a free DL at all, you need this game. It is the best home port of Street Fighter 2 out there. If you want to play it like the arcade, this is what you need. It even says it on the back. Experience the ultimate arcade action at your home! And like, it just waits for it to say it. And it's pretty cool. The back cover is pretty cool too. I'm only going to show a few more games. Here's a weird looking game, which is called Cyberdillo, but it's also pretty fun. What the hell is this game though? Look at the frickin' back of the cover of this game. It is beyond weird. Well, that's because, guess what, it only costs $10 to make a game for the free deal, pretty much. Any developer can make anything called a game, but even though this looks like a lazy made game, it's really fun. It's a, let me get it closer. You can't tell it's a first-person shooter with weird wacky enemies. Apparently, pin gumball machines too. Oh, and that's not a must-have game, but if you want to know another must-have game for free deal, Gex. If you don't know Gex, he was supposed to be the mascot for the free deal, but didn't because, well, failed. So N64 and PlayStation 1 got Gex as well because of that, and the Sega Saturn got a version of Gex. But the only problem about the PlayStation 1 Sega Saturn version of the first Gex game is that you can't save unless you're using a password system. So, you know what? Get the free, if you have a free deal, it's better off having the free deal version. And it's more playable. Another must-have game is, if you want a racing game, Crash and Burn. Why? I mean, I'm pretty sure you have heard of this game, made by Crystal Dynamics, same people that make it. But this game is so bad that it's good. Anybody will agree with that. Show what the disc looks like. This case isn't that great. I'll just take the disc out of it so you can, wait, no, never mind. Here it is. This was the packing game with the FC1 3DO for a while, and then it got changed to Total Eclipse, I think in 1994. And then the Gold Star 3DO got packed in with Gex, and the FC10, I think it was also Gex, I don't know. If you want to know just two more games, another game that's so bad that it's good is Family Feud. It's a pretty fun game actually. That's how bad it is. It's so bad it's good. And Batonk, which is a game I didn't know nobody talking about. Well, I will review 3DO games another day because it's better to talk about them individually. I'll make a part 2 to this video to show you what the games are like and why maybe you should get them, maybe you shouldn't get them. Okay. Overall, what would be the final answer to a free deal? Should you get one? Well, guess what the answer for that is? It's not a yes or no, it's a maybe. You know why? It mainly depends on how good you take care of your consoles. If you have an Atari 5200 and it still works, and a television as well that still works, you take care of your video game consoles, because those consoles are also faulty. If you can take care of those kind of consoles, at least one of them, or if you always keep your consoles working, running, you know how to fix them, get the free DO, because then it'll be an awesome experience. If you're not taking care of your video game consoles, I would say don't get one unless you kind of figure out how to take care of your video game consoles. Anyway, so part 2 will be coming soon. But before part 2, I'm going to make a video on the FC Free. Well, Thank you for watching, and tell me your thoughts on the 3DO down below, and have a great day. Stop.